One thing I'll be honest about is that the podcast market is extremely saturated. Brands are starting to catch on to this too. One of the biggest things to consider when we want this podcast to make money is not on the views, not on how quick it's going to blow up, but really on this ongoing relationship building opportunity. The key thing with podcasts is it's inviting people in to learn more about you and to build a relationship with you. You have to be willing to bring your personality to the table. If you're just going to go in and you're going to vomit a bunch of things that are just off of your website or things that anyone can find anywhere else, you're not going to really build an authentic connection. You got to be willing to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to be that host. You got to be engaging, and you got to think about, what do people want to hear and why would they want to connect with me, and how can I share something that's different than the next person? Now, this doesn't mean that you got to reinvent the wheel, but you got to be willing to reflect and think about, what is it that I'm uniquely good at? What conversations can I be having? What's the dynamic of my show? And when we think about this, making money, it really is looking at kind of the evolution of someone who's a cold lead, someone who's getting introduced to you. You're giving someone the opportunity to get to know you better than you know them, so they can build more trust time after time after time. And eventually it's going to lead to that point where they're going from this cold prospect to this engaged lead to an eventual customer. And you can continue to nurture that relationship time and time again by this added value that you're bringing through an ongoing show concept. Sure, you can go about sponsorships. You can look at it of like trying to grow it and monetize it. But to me, the best thing that it can support a brand with is just really trying to take the mentality of, how do I invite more people into the fold to learn about me and to build this relationship online? They can listen to it on their time, they can learn from you, and they can build more trust time after time after time.